welcome to Olfactofiles. I'm Tara and I'm so excited to be filming the very first video for this channel. For my first video, I decided to do the fragrance collection tag that Joss Jane started about a month and a half ago. It has been all over the fragrance community, but I think it's a great video to begin with because it will allow me to show you some of my collection so you guys can start to get an idea of my fragrance preferences and what I have to review in the future. So anyway, if you haven't seen Joss's channel, I'll leave that linked down below in the description because it is fantastic. She's really relaxing and has a really nice collection, so definitely check her out if you haven't already. So this particular tag has 13 questions, and these cover a variety of topics, and the very first question is, what is the newest fragrance in your collection? And this is one I just got yesterday. This one is from the House of SILLAGE, and it is called BIJOUX. And you can see here, maybe, if the light's not blinding you, that it has these little crystals on the top. It's a beautiful bottle. And this particular fragrance, although I haven't spent a ton of time with it yet, it reminds me of Parfums de Marly Meliora, if you are familiar with that one. It has a similar fruity mango type of note in the beginning, but there are other fruits in here as well. But the biggest difference I've noticed just from brief trial is that this one seems to have a bit of a green, like a mint almost. I don't know that that's a note in there. I don't think it is actually, but it does give me this sort of a little bit of a green minty sort of a note that's not in Meliora. That's more of a straight fruity fragrance. So anyway, that's the newest one in my collection. The next question is, what is the oldest perfume in your collection, or the oldest bottle in your collection? And that's this one here. This is an oldie. Actually, this is discontinued, I believe. This is from Giorgio Armani, and it is Emporio Armani She. And this one is a woody type of fragrance. I can't remember what the notes are in it. I've had it so long, but it's really good. I do enjoy it. There's only a little bit left in here because I just kind of quit using it, but I still like it, and I do occasionally pick it up. Like I said, this has been discontinued for a while. I believe it came out in the 90s, and I started wearing it probably around 2003. This is not my first bottle of it. This is probably the third or fourth or maybe fifth bottle that I purchased, because I did wear it quite a lot in the early 2000s, but that is my oldest bottle in my collection. The next question is, what is the most expensive bottle in your collection? And there are two that have the same retail price that is the most expensive, but I paid slightly more for one of the two because I got them both on a really great discount. I would never pay full price for these. And one of them just happened to end up on the discount being a couple dollars more. So this one is ROJA Parfums, and this one's called 51 pour Femme. This is the, I think, parfum concentration, yeah. And this is a beautiful, really refined, well-blended, rich, elegant fragrance. It has a bit of ylang ylang in there I can definitely pick up, but I will say that in general, the ROJAs that I have tried, you can usually pick out a few notes, but it's so well refined and blended. They're not simple. I'll put it that way. I'm not sure like that they're the most complex fragrances out there, but they're not simple. And the ones that I've tried, at least, I think require almost a bit of a special occasion to wear because they are so beautiful and elegant. So that one is my most expensive bottle. I think full price, these are like $450 for 50 milliliters. Insane. But like I said, I got it for a great deal. So I did not pay anywhere close to that. And the next question is, what is the cheapest or most affordable bottle in your collection? And that is this one right here. This is from ZARA. It is part of their tobacco collection, and it's called Rich Warm Addictive. And this goes for, I believe, $19.99 regular price, and you get 100 mils here. So much more affordable than the last one. This one, although it's from the tobacco collection, I don't believe it actually has a tobacco note in it. But you still get some of that rich sweetness like you might expect from a tobacco fragrance. It also has a little bit of a suntan lotion vibe to me, to be quite honest, but like not, I wouldn't call it a summer fragrance by any means. I think you could get away with wearing it in the evenings in the summer, but yeah, so it does have some warmth. It's warmth, it is very sweet, and it's a great buy for 20 bucks. All right, the next question is, what is your favorite easy reach? And for me, it's this one right here. This is from Jo Malone, and it is called Wood Sage and Sea Salt. And this is a pretty popular one from Jo Malone. It has better lasting power than most of the colognes from her collection, but it's still not like fantastic. However, I think that's why a lot of Jo Malone's can be really easy reach fragrances, because they don't last a super long time. You can kind of change it up throughout the day if you wanted. Like I said, this one does last a little bit better though, and it is a really pleasing, got a little bit of salt, a little bit of woodiness. I think it can be used year round, and I just think it's a kind of universally pleasing scent. I don't know many people who dislike this, so it's just a good go-to if you're not sure what to wear. Question number 6 says, what is your favorite bottle design? And this one right here is the one I chose, but I will tell you it was a really difficult decision because I have a lot of beautiful bottles in my collection. However, there's something about this particular Parfums de Marly bottle with the gold and the black that really stands out to me, as well as the fact that it actually has a clear bottle as opposed to some of them that are painted, and you can see the beautiful color of the fragrance inside. So this one is my favorite. I really enjoy, if you see here, this like sort of floral detailing around the edge. Like I said, I love the tassel. On the top, there's a little jewel. Hopefully you can see there. There we go. And on the back, it says Parfums de Marly. So this is just a beautiful bottle. And I really like all of theirs. And like I said, there are many bottles in my collection that I think are beautiful, but this one with the black and gold combination just won out. Next, it's what is your smallest bottle? And for me, that is this one right here. This is Scandale by Night by Jean-Paul Gaultier. And this one is a 30 ml bottle. I do have several 30 ml bottles, but this one of all of them has the smallest profile, so I chose it as my smallest bottle. As you can see, I've used quite a bit of this one. I've had this one for quite a while as well, but this one is a honey-based fragrance. The original, I would say, is probably even more so, but this one is really nice. It is very strong and sweet, so I would only personally wear it in the evenings and not when it's super hot. Like if it were, you know, in the spring, fall, winter evenings, that's when I would wear this. It can be cloying in the heat though, so this is not one I'm reaching for a lot right now because we're in the middle of summer. Next, my largest bottle is this one here. So this is from Christian Dior, and it's called FEVE DELICIEUSE, I think is how you say it. I'm terrible, by the way, at pronouncing things in French, so bear with me. I do the best I can. I listen to other people who can pronounce it correctly say it, and then I try to reproduce it and it never comes out right. So anyway, this translates into delicious bean, and it mostly, I get tonka bean, but I believe it also has vanilla, perhaps some other notes as well, but I mostly get tonka from this. It's really nice. This is, I think 250 milliliters, and then you compare it to this guy that's 30, you can see quite a difference. The next question I really like, and that is what bottle has the best scent memory? And for me, I chose this one here. This is MORI. This one is the Parfum concentration, but I would say my best scent memory is with the EDP version of this. However, the Parfum and the EDP smell basically the same to my nose for the most part. The EDT is a bit different. Also, you might see people refer to this as MORI Butterfly because there are butterflies on the box, but the name of it is actually just MORI. So anyway, the reason why this is my choice for best scent memory is because this is the fragrance that I wore a lot. And I was wearing the day that I met my husband, but I wore it a lot as we were first dating. I also just got a lot of compliments on this. I remember when I used to wear it pretty frequently. So this one is my best scent memory, mostly because it's the fragrance that I wore when my husband and I first started dating. All right, the next question is which fragrance is worth the hype? And for me, I think this one is definitely worth the hype. It doesn't get hyped up as much anymore because you know how things are. People hype it up for a while and then they forget about it. But several years ago, this got hyped up a lot. And this is Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. And you can see the bottle there. So the name tells you what it smells like. It smells like tobacco and vanilla. So this is a bit of a sweet tobacco fragrance. Not really sweet, definitely unisex, but it is a truly stunning fragrance. I love to wear this in the fall and winter, but honestly, I will gladly wear this to bed in the summertime because I just love the way it smells. It's one of my favorites. And as you might notice, things that feature either tobacco or vanilla or both tend to be at the top of my list because those are two of my favorite notes. Now, the next question is kind of going the other direction. What fragrance in your collection was not worth the hype? And this is going to be an unpopular opinion because it seems like every YouTuber that I've heard talk about this really loves it, or there are a couple who feel the way I feel in that I like it. I don't dislike this fragrance, but I don't think it should be hyped up the way it is. And that one is Paco Rabanne's Olympea, and this is the original one. This is a salty vanilla fragrance. Again, 2 notes that I adore, but it's just kind of meh. It's okay. It's not bad. Like, it's not a bad fragrance. I will happily wear it, but it's not one of those ones that really kind of evokes any emotion in me because it's that good. This one, I think, is one that I heard Steven from Redolescence say was one of his favorites to smell on his wife. And to me, it just doesn't project that much. It's okay. Like I said, it projects a little bit. It just doesn't do much. Like, it doesn't smell like a whole lot to me. It's a simple, pleasing fragrance. But I don't think it's worth the hype. I picked this up for pretty cheap, so I'm not gonna complain because for something that I'll just throw on as an easy reach type of fragrance, it was inexpensive and that's fine, but I don't really fully understand why so many people hype this up and say that it's one of their favorites, because to me there's nothing spectacular about it. The next question was sort of difficult, but not really. So the question is, what's your favorite fragrance from your favorite house? And for me, favorite fragrance, I knew which one I was gonna pick, but favorite house is more difficult. If you were to just ask me what's my favorite house, that question is a bit challenging because there are a few that I have several fragrances from and I really adore. But the one that I picked, because this probably is truly my favorite fragrance in my entire collection, is this one here from Guerlain. This is Spiritueuse. Let's try that again. Spiritueuse Double Vanille. I don't know. SDV is how we always abbreviate it. So anyway, this one, you can see I really enjoy this fragrance. This is a boozy vanilla fragrance, and it's not like beast mode by any means, but I can smell it on myself, and when I do, I just love it. It's so comforting. I think it's a little bit sexy, and it's just, boozy vanillas in general get me, but this one is my favorite. All right, and last but not least, the 13th question is, what is your most worn fragrance? And I kind of took that as all time, and there were a few contenders. For example, Alien was quite up there. Some Armani fragrances, especially from like the early 2000s, would have been up there. But the one that I've worn for a long time and still wear pretty often and really love is this one here. This is from Bond number 9, and this is the Scent of Peace for Her. And I've gone through several bottles of this over the last, I don't know how many years. I remember I first smelled this in the early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s actually. And this came out, I think, in 2001 or 2002, basically after 9/11 is when this came out. But the first time I smelled it, which like I said, probably early mid 2000s, I loved it. But at the time I was in my early 20s, I could not afford this. It wasn't something that, you know, was discounted at the time, but now it is. So now this is available at discounters. I've seen it at TJ Maxx even in the last several years. And so at the price it's available at now, I just keep rebuying it once it is gone because I love it so much. It's beautiful. It has blackcurrant note in it. And again, it's one of those fragrances that I feel like can work all year round. It's not overly sweet. It's not like a freshie. It just works all year round. So this one is probably my most worn fragrance over the last decade, I'd say, and I will gladly buy it again once this bottle's gone. Okay, so that's it for the fragrance collection tag. I really hope you guys liked this video. It was so fun to make, and I'm really, really excited to start this channel. If you're coming over from my old channel, or my first channel, I should say, thank you so much for checking this out. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you're, you know, just kind of happened to stumble upon this and you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. But if you did like it, consider subscribing. I would love it if you join me on this fragrance journey. I will be posting a lot of review type videos and other tags. I think tags are so fun, honestly. So lots of content like this related to fragrance and in-depth reviews of specific fragrances. So if that sounds good to you, like I said, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye.